Hey, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? NZD here with you with another video. In this video, I want to talk about the employment situation summary that came out for the month of November. Now, the jobs report is saying that it's hotter than expected, with wages growing over year to year. So right now we have wages going up, and the Fed will be most likely continuing to lift interest rates based on these numbers over the month. Now, the labor market is robust and it is growing. It is very interesting right now because we saw a decline in the labor force participation rate, which was at 62.1. And then for the third straight decline in a month in a row, employment population ratio is at 59.9. Very interesting because a lot of baby boomers are retiring. A lot of people did not come back to the workforce, and many did not come back to the workforce after, the pandemic and the shutdown. Employment situation, was expecting about 200,000 jobs added, but instead it was 263 jobs added. So stay tuned and let's get more into the details. So here we are, ladies and gentlemen, looking at the employment situation summary for November. Now, the total number of non-farmers payroll employment increased by, like I said, 263 in November, and the unemployment rate has unchanged at 3.7%. The Bureau of Labor Statistics report that notable job gains occurred in leisure and hospitality, healthcare, and government. So a lot of service job was included, but the employment decline in retail, trade, and transportation and warehousing. Interesting because we have the PPI data coming out. Well, the PPI data is out, and we're going to have to discuss more about that. Now, this release presents statistics from 2 monthly surveys: the Household Survey measures labor force statistics, including unemployment by demographics characteristics. The Establishment Survey measures non-farm employment, hours, and earnings by industry. For more information, so let's go more information. Household survey data, the unemployment rate has unchanged at 3.7% in November. So basically unemployment didn't go anywhere for November. Narrow range of 3.5% to 3.7% since March. The number of unemployed persons was essentially unchanged at 6 million in November. Now, I'm not sure if these numbers are including a lot of these layoffs, especially from these tech companies like Amazon, Google, Twitter, and also hiring freeze. So I'm not really sure if that data was included in this November data. But like it says, unemployment rates for adults, men 3.4, adults, women 3.3, teenagers 11.3, whites 3.2, blacks 5.7, Asians 2.7, Hispanics 3.9, showed little or no change over the past month. Wow, 1.4 million, the total number of people unemployed in the month of November. So that's the total. The number of persons on temporary layoff changed little at 803. I'm not really sure about that temporary layoff stuff. Got to get some more information about that. The number of long-term unemployed, those jobless for 27 weeks or more, was a little change at 1.2 million in November. The long-term unemployed account for 20.6% of all unemployed persons. Both the labor force participation rate at 62.1. Wow. And the unemployment population ratio is 59.9, like we discussed. We're a little change in November and have shown a little net change since early this year. These measures are each 1.3 percent points below their value in February. So like we say in the Federal Reserve, they are trying to reduce the amount of jobs that's created and the amount of job that's out there in order to cut back on spending. This number right here is not quite looking good. They might end up raising the interest rates, probably 0.5, probably at 50 basis point, 0.5%, or 75 basis point, 0.75%. The number of employed part-time for economic reason was about unchanged also. So even at about 3.7 million, that's unemployed part-time. These individuals would have preferred full-time employment, but were working part-time because their hours had been reduced. Y'all see that hours has been reduced, or they were able to find a full-time job. So they probably was working a part-time job in order to supplement their income. The number of persons not in the labor force who currently want a job was a little change at 5.6 million in November and remained above its February 2020 levels of 5 million. These individuals were not counted as unemployment because they were not actively looking for work during the 4 weeks preceding the survey or were unavailable to take a job. Among those not in the labor force who wanted a job, the number of persons marginally attached to the labor force held at 1.5 million in November. These individuals wanted and were able to work and had looked for jobs sometime in the prior 12 months, but had not looked for a job in the past 4 weeks preceding the survey. The number of discouraged workers, a subset of the marginal attached who believed that no jobs were available for them, was 405,000 in November, little change from the previous month in October. Total non-farmers payroll employment increased by 263 in November, roughly in line with average growth over the prior 3 months. 282 jobs was added over the last 3 months. Monthly job growth has averaged 392,000 thus far in 2022, compared with 562 per month in 2021. So I'm sure the feds would like to see that comparison right there to last year, because it's almost down about half. So about half of jobs were created this year compared to last year. In November, notably job gains occurred in leisure and hospitality, healthcare, and government. Employment declined in retail, trade, and in transportation and in warehouse. Leisure and hospitality added 88,000 jobs in November, including a gain of 62,000 in the food service and drink places. Leisure and hospitality has added an average of 82,000 jobs per month thus far this year, less than half the average gain of 196 jobs per month compared to 2021. Employment in leisure and hospitality is below its pre-pandemic February 2020 level by 980,000 or 5.8%. In November, employment in healthcare rose about 45,000, with gains in ambulatory healthcare services 23,000, hospitals 11,000, and nursing and residential care facilities 10,000 so far in 2022. Health care employment has increased by an average of 47,000 per month, well above the 2021 average monthly gain of 9,000. Government added 42,000 jobs in November, mostly in local government, 32,000. Government employment has increased an average of 25,000 per month thus far this year, compared with 38,000 per month in 2021. Since February 2020, government employment is down by 461,000. Let's see what happens next year when they start to hire more IRS agents in order to start taxing more people and get more taxes back to the government. In November, employment in other services industry rose about 24,000. As personnel and laundry service added 11,000 jobs over the month, other service employment has increased by an average of $15,000 per month thus far, compared with 24,000 per month in 2021. Employment in other services is below February 2020 level of 186,000 or 3.1%. Employment in social assistance increased by 23,000 in November and has returned to its February 2020 level. With social assistant, employment is an individual family service increased by 17,000 in November. A lot of with social services assistant, not a lot of jobs created, but not too much loss. Job growth in social assistance has averaged 18,000 per month thus far in 2022, compared with 13,000 per month in 2021. Now you see the difference? 18,000 compared to 13,000 for social assistance. That is something we're gonna have to look into. Employment and social assistance increased almost double over the month compared to last year. Construction employment continued to trend up in November, 20,000, with non-residential buildings adding 8,000 jobs. Construction has added an average of 19,000 jobs per month thus far this year, a little different from 2021, average of 16,000 per month. Employment in information rose by 19,000 in November. Employment industry has increased by an average of 14,000 per month thus far, in line with the average of 16,000 per month with 2021. So there we go. You got to look at these job sectors that's creating more jobs and why they're creating more jobs in these sectors. Because that sector was the information, information and data traded and data exchange and sharing data. It's a big business right now. Manufacturing employment continued to trend up in November, 14,000 job growth as average of 34,000 per month thus far this year, little different from 2021 average of 30,000 per month. In November, employment in financial activities continue its upward trend, 14,000. Upward trend in financial activities. We gotta look at that one also, ladies and gentlemen. Job gains in real estate and rental and leasing, 13,000, and in securities, commodity contracts and investments, 6,000, were partially offset by a decline by credit intermediation and related activities, 9,000. Employment in financial activities has increased by an average of 12,000 per month thus far this year, is about the same as 2021. Employment in retail trade declined by 30,000 in November. Job losses in general merchandise stores down 32,000. Electronics and appliances stores down 4,000. These are a lot of the service industry, retail like service. Furniture down 3,000. Motor vehicle dealerships up. Wow, so that means more that means more cars getting sold. You got more employment going up for motor vehicle and parts dealership. Retail trade employment has fallen by 62,000 since August. Employment in transportation warehouse declined by 15,000 in November, has decreased by 38,000 since July. So we got to watch out for transportation and warehouse. Employment in professional and business service changed a little in November, up 6,000 within the industry. Wow. So hopefully, ladies and gentlemen, you can go over these data as well, and hopefully you also got some great information and got some value out of this. Employment showed little change over the month is mining and wholesale trade. So that deals with digital currencies and stuff like that. So, ladies and gentlemen, once again, it's ANZD. Hope you got some value out of this. Go check out this data for yourself and look at some of the tables and compare these data and kind of have an idea of where the economy will be going. All right, once again, it's ANZD. Please subscribe, like, and comment, and I'll see you next time. Peace.